reaction. This will be the first show under the new company 360 Promotions. We're excited to work with HBO again. We're excited to go to the Forum. The Superfly 1 show sold out at the Sold Out Center, so the Forum is actually a larger capacity arena. We've had a tremendous working relationship with the Forum. Triple G has fought there a number of times. Tito fought there against Mr. Cuadras last year. So we're excited about coming back to the Forum. And excited about working with all these people. As I was saying in many of the interviews, it's exciting to do these type of fights because the lower weight divisions, specifically flyweight, super flyweight divisions, they're willing to fight each other. You know, Chocolatito put on, he really opened the doors again for this division ever since the Michael Carvajal and Chiquita Gonzalez fight, which also took place at the Forum. But that's really what we're excited about. When we put on the best fights that the fans want to see, it's going to be an HBO triple header. Brian Vilora, who's also on the Superfly 1 show, he's now fighting for his 5th world title. You can believe that. I mean, that's, you start getting into Hall of Fame caliber and writing history if Brian can win. So we're just excited about all that. I have to introduce a few things. We priced this event again very reasonably, starting at $30. If you can get in for $30 and watch 3 world title fights, plus Cuadras versus Vilora, plus a great undercard. You know, that's a very good value, and we feel that the fans, as they have in the past, they'll respond. If you put on a quality show for a reasonable price, it's not a difficult formula. The fans will respond. They will support the sport of boxing, and they will support strong shows and good fights like this. So I wanted to move into on the HBO side. The broadcast will start at 6:30 p.m. local time here, 9:30 New York time. Brian Vilora and Delakian, if you can believe it, they'll be on the international broadcast. So a high caliber fight like that for a WBA flyweight title won't be on the HBO fight, but it definitely will be streamed here in the U.S. and it will be on the international broadcast. So that just shows you the caliber and the quality of this show. I want to introduce a longtime friend of mine, representing a network who we believe just builds stars. You know, we built Triple G on HBO. We built Chocolatito on HBO. The Klitschko brothers both out here on HBO, and this is a platform that we've had an extraordinary amount of success working with, a great partnership with Peter Nelson. It was his foresight, actually, that opened the door for Roman Chocolatito Gonzalez to be on the network, and that door was opened by Peter and Chocolatito. Now look at the beneficiaries now with this show. So I'd like to bring up Tony Walker from HBO to say a few words.
First, thanks everybody for coming out. Love to see the enthusiasm for boxing this early in the year. Last year's Superfly show.
Tony, they're going to work on your microphone also. I don't know why you were so low.
Much better. Yeah, as I was saying, thanks Tom, and thanks everybody for coming out. It's great to see people enthused and ready for the new year of boxing. Last year's Superfly show delivered such a high level of excitement to our viewers and such a high level of boxing skill that we were ecstatic about being able to get a show like this again. There are a number of fighters at this weight class who are not just good but excellent, makes for just some compelling shows. And February 24th, we are sure will deliver a great night of boxing. I also want to thank Tom. We all for being able to put a show like this together and work with so many promoters. You know, we all talk about promoters working together, but it doesn't happen enough. And this is a show that shows what can happen when they do. And as he said, the telecast is 6:30 local time, and you have to have the HBO East Coast feed to get that time. Otherwise, the fight will be on at 9:30 Eastern and Pacific. So thanks a lot, and we will see everybody on the 24th.
Thank you, Tony. Like I said, these are the type of shows that wouldn't be possible without a television partner like HBO. They've recognized the value in investing in this division, and the ratings are reflected. The Superfly show last year was one of the most successful shows on the HBO platform, and the fans responded, not only by the ticket sales, but by the TV ratings. And we're really looking forward to this fight being one of the strongest shows again in 2018. I really think as a promoter, we need to work together with the fighters, with the managers, with the trainers. Really, everyone in boxing has a responsibility to capitalize on the success for 2017. And these are the type of shows in 2018 that need to continue that type of momentum. So we're excited not only about this show, but the renewed interest in the sport of boxing. And this is exactly the type of show that I think will bring the fans out. I also want to thank someone who's very close to me. His father was extremely close to me, Don Jose Suleiman. Really a leader, breaking a lot of ground in the sport of boxing when it comes to the sanctioning body, when it comes to medical safety in the ring, when it comes to regulations in the ring for world title fights. Mauricio Suleiman has become a very close friend and very supportive, and really is filling gigantic shoes that his father had left him very capably. And on behalf of the WBC, WBC has sanctioned the main event. Really the two best fighters in the super flyweight division fighting each other. So I want to bring up, on behalf of the World Boxing Council, I want to bring up Pepe Suleiman.
Here I feel between family, with the boxers, the managers, the promoters, because that's what, I'm very, very thrilled to be here in the kickoff of Superfly 2. This morning, 4 years ago, today, my father passed away. And I bring this up for one reason. He devoted his life to boxing, to the boxers. That was his only reason for getting up from bed, to help them in any way, every way possible. This card, this amazing card, with K2, Tom, HBO, the forum, promoters, that's the ideal scenario that he always dreamed of. Equality, fairness, everybody working together. So this is one of those exemplary cards for the WBC. So we are very, very happy to be here again, supporting the boxers, supporting the promotion, and our very, very dearest friends in boxing. Thank you very much for the media. This is a great attendance, as Tom said. And this boxing card, these matches, these champions have lived to the expectations, and they will exceed it. So the WBC is really, really proud to be part of this. And I wish the very best of luck to every one of the fighters. They all deserve the best. And we will always be in their corner. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Pepe. We really appreciate you being here, and everyone from the WBC office here in Los Angeles. WBC will definitely be behind this event, supporting it both from a promotional and marketing standpoint. So we appreciate you being here, Pepe. I'd like to thank our title sponsor. Whenever you see the two big inflatable bottles, you know Tecate is the main sponsor of the event. Again, without HBO, without the forum, without a strong sponsor that's committed to the sport of boxing, like Tecate, really become the brand leader in sponsorship for boxing. So without their support, their marketing, their commitment to the sport, these type of events wouldn't happen. So we really like to thank Tecate and everything that they've done. Rudy, thank you for representing Tecate and all the cooperation that we've had from the brand. With that, I want to start, as I alluded to before, with Brian Vilora fighting for his 5th world title. He's the only remaining member, Brian, right, from the class of 2000, the Olympic team of 2000, who's still active. And Brian has put on some tremendous fights for the fans in the past. He has a great following of fans. He's always a fan favorite. He's the best athlete that I've seen that can jump rope whenever we have an open workout. Tremendous skills in training, not only just in the ring, but as a great person and a great ambassador for the sport of boxing. He'll be fighting Artem Dalakian, undefeated from Ukraine. We've had a little bit of experience from 2 heavyweight champions from Ukraine, so we expect the fans from Ukraine to turn out and support Dalakian as he fights for a world title. This will be a vacant WBA flyweight world title. Definitely need to acknowledge Mr. Honda, Taiken Promotions, Kimi, Nobu, Nick is here representing Taiken Promotions. Again, we've had a tremendous relationship with Mr. Honda and everything that he's done to support the shows that we've been involved with. So with that, I'd like to, and also I have to acknowledge Union Boxing, who represents Dalakian. So we definitely want to acknowledge Dalakian's promoter, Union Boxing from Ukraine. I'd like to, at this point, bring up also a very long-time friend of mine, someone who goes back to the days when I was representing Kevin Kelly, the very first fighter that I've worked with. Also a great WBC champion. He's a featherweight champion. Fought at Madison Square Garden many times, had the historic fight. I think it was the 20th anniversary recently when he had that great fight with Nassim Hamed at Madison Square Garden. Probably the most exciting fight I've ever seen. 6 knockdowns in 4 rounds, just going back and forth. And that story leads to Gary Gittleson was managing Junior Jones at the time. So I've known Gary for a long time, and he is a long-time supporter and advocate and one of the best managers that I've ever been associated with, and has always fought valiantly for Brian to get in the right position, the right TV spots, and now having the opportunity to fight for a 5th world title. I don't think Brian would be in that position without the support of someone like Gary Gittleson. So I want to bring Gary to say a few words.
Well, Happy New Year to everyone. I want to thank, we generally get up here and we say thank you routinely, but in this case, especially, it's very, very genuine. I want to thank Tom. Tom and I, as you just said, for 20 years we've been sort of trying to give a lot of attention to the lower weight classes. It was almost unheard of 20 years ago to get HBO attention for someone like Junior Jones, who started out as a bantamweight, and Kevin Kelly. These were the little giants of the sport, but they weren't. But when they finally got their opportunity to be on HBO, they made the most of it. Because I don't believe that you get a better, honest day's work in boxing than from the lower weight classes. You saw it in Superfly 1, and God knows you're going to definitely see it in Superfly too. It's why I've always loved Brian. He gives his all. He gives his all, and he's been like a son to me since he graduated from the 2000 Olympic class. And I can't believe that it was 12 years ago that he won his first world title here in Los Angeles against Eric Ortiz on a card with some little-known fighters like, I think there's a kid named Manny Pacquiao, and there was another kid named Derek Morales. You may not have heard of them, but Brian ruled the night that night with his first world title. There have been 3 more along the way, and this hopefully will be the 5th time that Brian raises his hand in victory as a world champion. I've never been prouder in my life than I am to be associated with Brian. I'm grateful to Tom, I'm grateful to HBO, I'm grateful to Taken especially, who's been extremely supportive at this advanced stage of Brian's career. Nick and Kimmy and Nobu, and especially Mr. Honda. It's great when you have a good team. I want to introduce you to my favorite son, Brian Vilora.
Aloha. Thank you, Gary. I just want to say, first of all, thank you to God for giving me the strength and the power to be fighting for this long. I've been fighting professionally for the last 17 years, and it doesn't get easier. I'm still learning with the craft, and I still love the sport. And I know I'm fighting for my 5th world title, but I feel like this is my first. Like Gary said, I fought for my first world title 12 years ago, and it just seems like a snap of a finger that 12 years passed, and here I am fighting for my 5th. And I've worked my way back up. I've been going through ups and downs. I thank the fans, and I thank all my followers, my supporters, that has given me the strength to tell me to keep continuing the sport, and which I love very much. And I just want to, go into this next fight with all the strength and with all the ability that I have, and what I've learned through all these years, and try to see if I could raise my hand up in victory for my 5th world title. I just want to say thank you again to Tom and K2 Promotions for giving me the stage, to Mr. Honda with Taken Promotions, Kemi and Nobu for all their help in helping me get to this part of my life. With my management, with Gary, with Ruben Gomez, who's been there every day, day in, day out in my training camp. I want to thank them for giving their time. With Marvin Somorio, who's not here, who's also training Marcito Gesta for his next fight. But these guys are the backbone for who Brian Vilora is, and they're the ones that get me to this level and help me prepare each day to get myself into the best position I can be to be fighting in for the world title. And I just want to say thank you guys for all the hard work and for all the love you've given me throughout these years, and for everyone that's involved putting up a great show like Superfly 2. If you guys haven't seen Superfly 1, that was an amazing show. Now I was so happy and so grateful to be a part of that show, and to again be a part of the show in Superfly 2. It's the best feeling in the world when I got that phone call. And I was like, man, that Superfly, I was telling myself that Superfly 1 card was top to bottom one of the best fights, with like Cuadras on the card, and then with Estrada and Ringasai, and not to mention Gonzalez, putting up some of the best fights that year. For me, Superfly 2 was a no-brainer. And for us to be on the stage, I want everyone to know that we, as little guys, all these years I've been fighting for us, saying that look at us. A lot of people don't turn their way to us. They always look at the heavier weights, the middleweights or the heavyweights, and now that HBO has given us an opportunity to fight on this platform, I hope everyone's training hard. I hope everyone's preparing themselves mentally and physically to the best ability to show to everyone that us little guys too, can put up great fights. And I want to say thank you guys for giving us the opportunity. Thank you to the media who's been so kind to me and so nice to me through all these years. And we fight not only for us, but we fight for our families and for our friends and for our supporters. And I'll say thank you again, and we'll see you guys in February.
Thank you, Brian. You can tell Brian's just a tremendous ambassador for the sport. I also want to recognize one more person who's in the room. He's actually not fighting on the show, but he was a tremendous champion when he was active. I want to please give a big round of applause for Israel Vasquez, who's with us today. Israel also is a tremendous ambassador for the sport, not only when he was active as a champion, but now as a former champion, helping out former fighters with WBC. We appreciate Israel for being here with us today. Now, again, without the media, without you guys being here to support these events, we couldn't put on these shows. If people didn't know about the events without you reporting about them, we couldn't do this. So we want to thank you, a personal thank you for coming out to this event. We do have posters. I think some of the people were passing out posters. If you haven't gotten a poster, you can get it, and while the guys are here, you can have them signed. So we really appreciate you guys being here. Moving on from that, I want to introduce the next fight. This will actually be the co-feature of the Superfly 2 show. This is probably as good of a competitive fight as we can match in this show. It's actually, I just talked to Mauricio Suleiman yesterday, and he wants to sanction this for the WBC Silver title. So we're in the process of doing that. Fan favorite, Carlos Cuadras, will be fighting against McWilliam Arroyo. Both guys had very close fights, decision fights with Chocolatito Gonzalez. And I know both guys look at this as an opportunity. They're back on HBO, and the winner of this fight wants to get back into positioning themselves for another world title fight. So you're going to see an all-out battle. It's that classic, Mexico versus Puerto Rico battle. Both guys fighting for their countries, and we are expecting fireworks in that fight. So to introduce McWilliam, also somebody I've known for a number of years in the sport of boxing. Does great things in Puerto Rico. They flew in specifically for this media lunch, so we want to thank both McWilliam and Peter Rivera for coming in. Without the fighter's commitment to actually promote the show, that's another key component to a successful promotion. So with that, to represent McWilliam Arroyo, I want to introduce a close friend of mine, Peter Rivera, Puerto Rico.
First of all, I want to thank the press for being here, on Lawford and HBO for giving to us this great opportunity. As Tom said, I'm sure will be a war between Mexico and Puerto Rico. Everybody knows that whenever Mexican and Puerto Rican are on the ring, will be very, very big fights, action fights. I believe everybody knows what happened in our country for the past month. We've been to a very difficult situation because of the hurricane that basically destroyed the whole country. And I know that a fight like this one, a win from William Arroyo that night will really help a lot, the activity in the people in Puerto Rico. So once again, we're very happy for being here, Tom. Once again, thanks. And as I said before, February 24 will be a war between Puerto Rico and Mexico. So now I want to introduce you with William Arroyo.
Good afternoon, everybody. I want to thank God for being here. I want to thank Tom Law for this great opportunity, HBO, Carlos Cuadras for this excellent fight. All I can say is I'm going on February 24th to give it all. I believe that this is a great opportunity for both of us. And I know that the winner of this fight, it means a lot in our careers. But I can talk about myself. I'm training very hard. This is my first fight at 115. I feel that this is a great boom in my career. So I want to try to take advantage of it. So I'm going to give it all, and I'm going to do my best. Let's see who wins February 24th. I know that there are great fights that night, so stay tuned, and you're going to see excellent fights. Thank you.
Thank you, McWilliam. I just wanted to add that McWilliam had a great amateur career. He represented Puerto Rico in the Olympics, and he fought Chocolatito at the Forum. So the fans at the Forum know what type of performance he can put on, and are definitely looking forward to see him back in the ring live at the fabulous Forum. Now, for the other side of that equation, I want to introduce someone who I've also known for a long time. Seems like everyone up here I've known for a long time. But Abel Sanchez, when I was working with Oba Carr, Abel worked with Oba when they were training down in San Diego. That was actually more than 20 years ago. And Abel has developed into he's always been a tremendous trainer, but developed into someone who carries the sport on discipline, on principle. He runs a very disciplined camp in Big Bear. Anyone that goes up there and doesn't want to run in the snow in the wintertime, anyone doesn't want to follow his routine, a lot of fighters go up there a week later, Abel says, they want to go back. So it definitely takes a lot of determination, discipline, not only to train in Big Bear, but to train under Abel's tutelage up there. And I think you see the type of results that he gets, not only with Triple G, but also there's another world champion that I want to recognize at this time. Murat Gassiev is here. He's a cruiserweight champion. Murat, where are you? You're in the back there somewhere? Murat, undefeated cruiserweight champion. He's got a big fight coming up in Sochi, Russia, February 3, as part of his cruiserweight tournament, the World Boxing Series tournament. So I know Abel's putting a lot of work in with Murat, and looking for a successful appearance February 3. But that gets into, this will be the first time that Abel has actually taken over the training for Carlos Cuadras. Abel realizes that Cuadras has a lot of talent, but El Principe has made the commitment to training in Big Bear, training with Abel, and I think we'll see a lot of results on February 24th. So with that, I'd like to, Abel, if you could say a few words and then also introduce Carlos.
Yeah, good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for coming out. By the way, I left the shirt. Yeah, this is my first time with Carlos. He was supposed to come out before the Estrada fight. Unfortunately, some issues came up in Mexico and couldn't come out. I was disappointed because I knew if he came out, what I could do with him. He's come out for this one. I've asked a lot of things of him, discipline, dedication, a lot of things that we require in Big Bear to stay in Big Bear. He's given me all those. He's training very hard. I think in the past, his undisciplined manner cost him some fights because of conditioning. He's a very talented fighter. Now with some of the extras that I hope I can add, hopefully we'll be successful in his fight against Arroyo. Arroyo is a very, very difficult fight. He is an ex-Olympian who gave Chocolatito all he could handle. So the winner of this fight deserves a title shot, and hopefully we're the ones to get it. Thank you very much for coming out.
Someone who likes the limelight, who likes the cameras, who likes the microphone. I'd like to introduce Carlitos El Principe Cuadras.
Buenas tardes. Gracias a todos por venir.
Good afternoon. Thank you everyone for coming.
Primero quiero agradecer a Dios por estar aquí. Quiero agradecer a Tom por la oportunidad, a HBO, a Take Promotion, al que ha hecho Mr. Honda por siempre el apoyo que me ha dado.
I want to thank God. I want to thank Tom Loeffler. I want to thank Mr. Honda, Titan Promotions for all they given me, the support they given me, HBO for the opportunity.
Y pues quiero decirles a todos que estoy muy contento, estoy muy motivado. Ahora estoy al lado de un gran entrenador, Abel, y pues en el equipo del Triple G, que es muy motivante para mí, y creo que ahora van a ver la mejor forma de Carlos Cuadras.
I'm very happy to be a Big Bear with a great trainer like Abel Sanchez, and learning, everything Triple G has done throughout his career, learning a lot from him, and I think you're going to see the best Carlos Cuadras you've ever seen.
Bueno, pues quiero decirles que voy a tener una gran pelea de Arroyo. Es un gran peleador que lo conozco desde los amateurs, y quiero que sepa que voy a ir en muy buena forma, que aquí te voy a tener tu medicina como siempre, y que sepa que ahora no vas a pelear con Chocolatito, vas a pelear con Cuadras, y va a ser una cosa buena. Siempre México, Puerto Rico dan unas grandes peleas, y esta no va a ser la excepción. Vamos a hacer todo lo posible, y Gallito, tú también gana, por favor, porque me quiero sacar la experiencia contigo.
I just want to tell you that I know Arroyo very well from our amateur years. You're going to see a great fight, Mexico versus Puerto Rico. This time he's not fighting Chocolatito, he's fighting me. I got the medicine right here in my right fist. And we'll be ready, hoping that, of course, Estrada wins, because I want to take the revenge on him.
Bueno, pues nada más quiero recordarles que I am fast, I am strong, I'm very, very handsome. I'm sexy, baby!
I know Carlos keeps Abel entertained up there in Big Bear.
Big Bear shape.
The Big Bear shape is different than any other shape with the altitude up there, and he's teaching Murat some Spanish up there also, so expanding his vocabulary. So now, after all these tremendous fights, we're getting to the main event. We're just excited to put this fight on together. When you have two tremendous victories, like one Francisco Estrada had over Cuadras, and like Rumbasai had over Chocolatito, it just was a natural build-up. It's mandated by the WBC that Estrada is the mandatory challenger for Rumbasai. Really considered the top two fighters fighting in the super flyweight division against each other. With Rumbasai, this will now be his third appearance over here in the States. He fought in Madison Square Garden. He fought at the StubHub Center, and now he's going to fight at the Forum. He's embraced the platform that he's been given over here. He's been a great fighter. With the first fight over Chocolatito, and then with the second fight where he knocked out Chocolatito, he's become a national hero in Thailand. We expect big support from the Thai community to support their champion, not only their boxing world champion, but their national hero that he's become. His representative bank from their promotional company can tell the story much more eloquently than I can, but the story goes where he was a trash collector, and through the sport of boxing, through the ability to become a WBC world champion, now he's become a national icon in the country of Thailand, really representing his country every time he steps in the ring. And so he's a very proud champion. He's excited to come back here to Los Angeles to defend his title. And he knows he's going to be in for an extremely difficult fight. Want to acknowledge Kurlong Promotions from Thailand, who's the promoter of Sorungasai. And also want to acknowledge Sanford Promotions, who's a promotional partner on this fight. Also have a very long relationship with Fernando Beltran, with Juan Carlos Torres, who's sitting next to me. We most recently did a fight at Mandalay Bay, where Salido fought up there. That was really a tribute to Las Vegas and Mandalay Bay, going through what they had gone through last year. And we were excited with the support of HBO to bring the first boxing match to Mandalay Bay since, again, that terrible incident that they had suffered up there. So, working with Zanfer has been a pleasure. And this will be the second fight we're working together on, in less than 3 months. So it's exciting times. And so to introduce Juan Francisco, I'd like to introduce Juan Carlos Torres, representing Zanfer Promotions.
Thank you, Tom. When you guys were talking about Superfly, and I was looking at Ryan and his manager, who's a much better storyteller than myself, Gary Gittleson, I couldn't help. 5 years ago, we did a show at the Sports Arena, and we started with Estrada against Chocolatito in the opener, and then the main event was Tyson Martins against Brian Vilora. Both fights were fight of the year type of candidates. The show in itself was a little disaster because we had, it was raining a lot. There was like 400 people in the whole arena only. And most of the people from the press were walking with their computers because there weren't any press place to put their seats or the computers. We just opened the venue and everybody, sat down, and we didn't know what we were doing. But at the end of that day, we had an unbelievable night. And I remember getting a call that day from Gary and saying, this was great. The next step, we gotta get it to HBO or a big net. I remember the following week, that feature, Steve Kim and a lot of you guys started writing about these fighters, about the lower weight class. So I want to thank each and every one of you, because I know HBO delivered, but you were the guys who were pushing and pressuring the networks to do this fight. Last September, we had a great night, starting with Estrada again and Cuadras on a great fight. Then we had a great talent with Inoue, and of course the knockout of the year with Chocolatito and Rubinside. The crowd was unbelievable, just like every crowd that we have with 360, aka K2 Promotions, with Tom. So I'm sure, I don't think we're gonna have a good night. I'm sure we're gonna have a great night. All of these people are warriors, like Cuadras said. The fights with Mexico and Puerto Rico are always great. Of course, Brian, the last of the Mohicans. I mean, I look at him and it's unbelievable the career that he's had. And finally, we're here. We're in the big stage. I mean, the combination of everything, the best organization in the world, WBC with Mauricio and his brother. We got the best brand, Tecate. We got the best fighters and the best network on HBO. So I want to thank everybody, and I hope to see you everybody there. I also want to introduce probably the best manager in Mexico, Juan Hernandez, the manager of Juan Estrada. He's around here. He left. Oh, here he is.
Juan, you want to come up and say a few words?
He's been with Francisco Estrada from the first fight of his career.
Thanks, Juan Carlos. Thank you, Tom and Juan Carlos both. I want to thank all you guys for coming over and supporting the super fight division. I just want to quickly mention Estrada. A lot of times with the press, He's not a big talker. He doesn't like to say much. But I'll quickly mention what he tells me in private. He definitely sees this as the most important fight of his career. He's very excited and thankful with Mauricio Suleiman for fighting for the WBC title. He was already the WBA and WBO flyweight champion, and now he's fighting for the WBC. He's actually looking at this fight not only to win the belt, but he wants to become the next Mexican idol. In Mexico, he's actually considered perhaps the #1 or 2 best fighter in the country, and he's very aware of that. And he's very excited to win the title and keep fighting on the Superfly series, and maybe unify the Super Flyweight division and really use it as a platform to become the next Mexican idol. So I'll introduce him. Hopefully on the 24th of February, the new WBC champion of the Super Flyweight division from Puerto Peñasco, Sonora, Juan Francisco Gallo Estrada.
Buenas tardes, muchas gracias por estar aquí. Pues, más que nada quiero agradecer a mi empresa Latin Sport por la oportunidad, a K2 Promotion por esta gran oportunidad también. Estoy muy contento por esta gran pelea.
Thank you for being here. I'm happy for all of you to be here. I want to thank my promotional company, Latin Sports, Tom Loeffler and his company for this opportunity, and I'm very happy to be here.
Estoy ansioso ya por que sea 24 de febrero para volverme a coronar campeón del mundo ahora en Super Mosca y pues claro el cinturón del CMB.
Obviously, I'm very happy for the opportunity. I can't wait for February 24th to get here and have that opportunity to win to become a world champion again and win the WBC title.
Sé que va a ser una pelea difícil, estaré enfrentando al mejor Super Mosca, quien venció al mejor libra por libra, al Chocolatito, y pues yo creo que va a ser una gran pelea, una pelea difícil, pero sé que tengo el estilo para vencerlo.
I know it's going to be a tough fight. He's the #1 115 in the world. He beat the best pound for pound boxer in the world to get there, and but I know I have the style. I know I can beat him.
Ojalá que asistan este 24 de febrero, va a ser una gran cartelera, estamos los mejores, ojalá que sigan promoviendo a los pesos chicos ahora aquí en Estados Unidos por HBO.
You know, February 24th, you're not going to see a great fight, you're going to see a lot of great fights. It's just a great show, and you know, hopefully they'll continue to showcase the little guys here on the US.
Gracias.
Thank you.
Well, on our part, just want to say thank you on behalf of Sanford. Of course, we're going to televise it over there in Mexico. Everybody's excited and hope to be there. Get your tickets because they're selling fast. So thank you again.
Just from my side, again, I want to thank everyone for coming out. We did a little bit unconventional this time. Normally we'll have a kickoff press conference. This one kind of was a midterm press conference. We're looking forward to the fight week. The details for the fight week activities. We'll have an open workout. Actually, the final press conference, and you know, with the cooperation of the forum, a great weigh-in over there. So, again, you look at all the talent up here and the fighters that will be there for fight week, and for $30 to see this type of a show is a tremendous value. So right now, Vernon will come up and pose the fighters, and look forward to a great show February 24th at 1.
Yeah. Yes, so now. Turn it off. There you go. Alright guys, we're gonna get the face-offs, and then all the one-on-ones will be on my
Over here, guys. Over here. We don't move your camera now.
Alright guys, there's the final face-off, and I'll have all the interviews up on the YouTube soon. Thank you for watching.
Straight ahead, please.